Hey, this is John Underwood. Join me every Friday evening at 6:30 p.m. for the Bartow Sports Showcase. We'll talk local high school sports from around the area, college, and even some pro sports. We will discuss region games and competitions, college-bound student athletes, and any other big news in local high school sports. We'll interview local coaches and players to give you the inside scoop on the games that are going on. We want to hear your opinions and comments. Listen every Friday evening and call in on your leader for Bartow County Sports, the Bartow Sports Showcase on News Talk AM 1270 WYXC, Cartersville.
Hey, this is Mary Elizabeth.
And Will. Louie, come back here.
Anyway, while Will chases Louie down, I want to talk to you about Louie's Cafe. We're located in the Goodwill Shopping Center, right across from the hospital on Highway 41. We're open from 6:30 to 2, Monday through Friday, and we offer a full breakfast Saturday mornings.
Here, you hold him. We have fresh sandwiches, delicious salads, and the best coffee in town. With our indoor and outdoor seating, drive-through, call-ahead ordering, and a full line of catering, we make it easy to fit breakfast or lunch into your schedule. We may not be the best thing since sliced bread, but we are the best thing on it. Come see us at Louie's Cafe.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bartow Sports Showcase on News Talk AM 1270 WYXC. I have got Mr. Will Sprague in here with me tonight. How you doing tonight, Will?
Oh, I am tired.
long day of
honeydew list.
Yeah. Love those.
Yeah, that's all right. Good times, getting things done.
Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Ace Hardware of Cartersville, Mr. John Payne, everybody out there. Go out and see them. They're ever so gracious enough to sponsor our show. They've got great things going on, great prices on propane, great prices on some lumber. Go out and see them. They'll be able to help you out whatever you need. And Red Top Mower, they're sponsoring our Bowl Pick'em contest. So they're the ones that have donated the Honda generator that we're giving away. You know, go out and see them. They can help you with lawnmowers, weed eaters, anything you can think of in that category. Got some great go-karts, accessories, parts, anything you need. Just go out and see them as well. And I always want to say thank you to Will for being here and Louie's Cafe for sponsoring. He always ends up bringing a little coffee or a sandwich or something with him, so just want to say thank you to them as well. Oh yeah, and I know you had a good long day, but I do appreciate you coming in here with me tonight, and it's always a pleasure for you to be in here with me.
I hate talking about sports. Oh,
I know.
I put my crocheting needle down, and I said, all right, just make it happen for John tonight.
Well, I thought you quilted.
I do everything.
Oh, okay. A little quilting, a little crocheting.
Didn't you like the scarf I gave you for Christmas?
I loved it. I wear it every day. It's sitting out there on the desk.
It's too bad it's not in a straight line.
Well, it's new fashion. It's new fashion. Brandy, I've made the joke to Brandy before. She was messing with her hair one night, and she had stuck a ponytail on the top of her head. She goes, watch. New fashion.
That's the cool thing about fashion.
The next day, we saw someone walking through town looking just like that, and I went, you're right.
Yeah.
She's done that 2 more times, and it has happened the next day. We've seen someone else doing it. I'm like, that's just insane.
The cool thing about fashion is you can screw up and it still looks good.
Well, you can call anything fashion. Like right now, I know this has nothing to do with sports.
Yeah.
But burlap is the new thing. Go to any of the stores under the bridge in downtown, and you'll see stuff made out of burlap.
Burlap.
Yeah, I'm serious.
That's what you wrap root balls for a tree and put your coffee beans in.
I know. I don't know. I don't understand it.
All right,
but
moving on.
Moving on, I do want to give, it was brought to my attention earlier this week that the county wrestling tournament was this week, and I'm going to give a big shout-out to the Woodland Wildcats wrestling team for winning the tournament. They went to the finals against Cass, and those are 2 big rival wrestling teams right there, and it came down to the wire. Woodland won it last year. So it was a good tournament. Everybody, the guys that have been on winning streaks won. A couple guys from defending state championships from Cartersville. They had a great tournament. So we've got two of the best wrestling programs in the state here in Bartow County, and the trend's continuing. So they're looking forward to going to the area duels and into the state duels, carrying that trend on. And I just want to give a big shout out to Cass, Cartersville, Woodland, and Adairsville for having a great tournament this week.
We got some big, strong, agile guys here in the county, I guess.
Oh yeah,
I never was a wrestler.
I mean the weight classes are generally around the middle weight classes, and I think there's a couple in the heavier weight classes.
That would be where I am, the heavyweight class.
Well, I wrestled in high school, the 125 weight class.
I wrestled that in middle school.
I know. I know. I mean, you're making yourself out to be twice as big as everybody's thinking.
I'm as big as everybody can imagine. Just hope it's the right way. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
Yeah, see, this is what happens when I work all day out in the yard.
Oh Lord! And I do want to give another shout out to the Woodland Wildcats basketball team. They are 13-0 in the season.
That's awesome.
They are 13-0, and they're in 7 Quad A. Chattahoochee. I looked it up earlier. Chattahoochee is in the same region. We did the game where they played each other in football, but Chattahoochee's basketball team is ranked in the state. And Woodland has the better record over Chattahoochee, and I still don't understand the state basketball rankings or for high school anything. But
that's your homework assignment for the week.
January 28th, Woodland's going to be playing Chattahoochee at Chattahoochee. I'd almost like to go see that game, just because of the way Woodland's playing this year, and the hype that Chattahoochee has. That's going to be a great game.
Well, yeah, just root them on to keep the undefeated season. I mean, that's outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, it's the record. They had a record of 12-0, 12 wins in a row that they set in 2002. Woodland did, but they've exceeded that, and they're looking to continue that trend and continue the winning streak going. And they're just playing outstanding basketball. They're only giving up around 40 points a game, but they're scoring around 65, almost 70 points a game.
That's a great margin.
And they're playing great basketball. So I just want to give a big shout out to them. Coach Mike Tobin, he's the athletic director at Woodland, but he's the head basketball coach. His son's on the team. Even R.J. Williams, Woodland's quarterback, he's playing on the basketball team. Xavier Niblett, he's on the team. So you got a lot of dual threats out there: football, basketball. I'm sure they probably end up playing another sport.
Yeah, that's pretty athletic kids down there at Woodland High School.
They've got a great athletic program, and it's growing. And they've got some great coaches, great athletic director, and they're just doing just some great things out there at Woodland. But I want to change gears a little bit, and if anybody's listening out there, want to give us a call and comment on anything we've got to say, call in number 770-382-1270. Please call in. We want to hear what you got to say about high school wrestling, basketball, anything. We're fixing to start talking a little college football bowl games, and there's been some crazy games here the last 2 days. I believe it's. Did you happen to catch any of the Toledo Air Force game?
No, I didn't catch any of that one. I was all over the Baylor Washington game though.
The Toledo Air Force game was insane. It went back and forth the whole game. Air Force lost the game because they went for 2, and the placeholder was running the ball, trying to get the 2-point conversion, got hit, fumbled the ball. The kicker was going after it, accidentally kicked it with his foot out of bounds, and Air Force lost by 1 point.
The coach should have been standing on the side like, use your hands! Knock your feet!
He kicked it with his foot and then dove for it and missed it completely, and it skidded out of bounds. And the guy that caught, it was a nice long pass to score the touchdown. He's over there on the sidelines on the knee watching this, and when this happened, he was pissed. I mean, there's no way around it. If I was him, I'd be ill about that too, because
if I was there, I'd be laughing.
I mean, I can't knock the coach for going for the win. I mean, it's a bowl game.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. You got to go for it in a bowl game.
But you got to execute, though. I mean, come on.
Use your hands.
I mean, I know he's a kicker and all, but
dear.
At least let him try to catch it or something. I mean, it was just bad.
Did you catch the Baylor-Washington game
Oh, my
last night?
God. Oh, my God. I was talking to a couple folks on the Facebook page during it, and I went to take a shower during the third quarter, and apparently that was the quarter to watch. Because Baylor...
DVR.
I should have. Baylor was losing by 2 touchdowns going into halftime.
Yeah.
And I came back, and the fourth quarter had just started, and it was ridiculous. I was like, how did this happen?
My father-in-law went to Baylor, so we were talking about it today, and he said, man, what a defensive game that was. When there's over 100 points in a bowl game, we recruit some defensive players.
They were 2 points away from breaking the record for most points scored in a game, combined points scored in a game in any NCAA bowl. They broke the record for most yards, and they broke the record for most touchdowns.
It's
I believe it was
123 points.
Yeah, and the record's 125. Wow. That's
another
not
one of
even
those big
right.
defensive games.
Yeah, and we were watching SportsCenter right afterwards. Me and Brandy were, and the commentator went, and I'm only gonna. This will be the only time I'll say this. And the defense stood strong on that play.
Once
he said it once. He goes, "I'm only gonna say this once." And that was insane. Baylor scored 29 points in the third quarter. Washington scored 14. That's just in the third quarter alone. Both teams individually broke the record for that bowl game for combined points. The previous record was 55. And they both shattered it.
That's crazy.
By themselves. It's crazy.
What other bowl games we got coming up this weekend? I think isn't tomorrow going to be a big day for bowl games? Blah, 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 blah.
One more time?
Well, that's how I lost it.
Let's see. We've got Texas A&M Northwestern playing tomorrow, and Georgia Tech and Utah, Cincinnati and Vanderbilt, Illinois, UCLA, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, Virginia Auburn's tomorrow.
That's going to be a fun game to watch.
That's going to be a fun game. I know you asked me the other day, did Gene Chizik get fired? And I said no, but I hadn't realized that he's also taken over defensive coordinator responsibilities for this bowl game because his defensive coordinator left to be a head coach somewhere else.
Okay.
So
well, he's spread them a little thin.
Yeah, he's I was reading an article about it earlier. He came to Atlanta for a press conference for the Chick-fil-A Bowl, but he was like, all right, gotta go, because he had to get back because he's playing a dual role.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of homework to do. That's a lot of preparation. Hey, can I just throw a number at you real quick? Yeah. I just looked up the total yards for that game between the two teams was over 1,300 yards.
That is insane.
Can we put them up for the Heisman? Because, I mean, they together.
Yeah,
they got more yards than anybody else.
They got more yards together than some players have for the entire season.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just, my eyes popped out of my head. 777 yards for Baylor.
That's just ridiculous. And we were watching. Did you watch the Louisville NC State game?
I did not catch that game.
That was a great game too. I mean, some of the games that I was not expecting to be that good of a game has been great games. And there's
Boise State game was terrible. What a blowout.
Yeah,
Boise State, Arizona State. I mean, they got punished.
I was expecting that to be a little bit better than what it was, but it wasn't. But I was during the game they brought up this. I can't think of the guy's name. I'm looking for his name. He's a defensive back for NC State. He's got more interceptions than Louisville did total, and he's got more interceptions on the year than most teams in the country have.
That's can we recruit him to Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
How about the Missouri UNC games? Nice to get a good look at what Missouri's going to look like before they enter the SEC. I believe they got kicked on Georgia's schedule next year, if I'm not mistaken.
That'll be Georgia's first SEC game next year, and it's going to be played in Missouri.
That's going to be a tough one.
And the weird thing is, Georgia's not going to play Alabama, and Georgia's also going to play all the SEC East teams before they ever play an SEC West team next year.
Yeah.
So, and it's like the South Carolina game's been moved to sometime in October or November.
That's going to be
different. And that's going to put a whole new feel to that game, where it's been the second week of the season for so long that with the way Georgia and South Carolina's been playing these last couple of years, battling for the top seed in the East.
Early in the season, too. That's going to be a season-changing thing. Which will make it a better game at the end of the season instead of Georgia come every year, because we go to the South Carolina-Georgia game. It's like, oh, man, this is going to determine the season. This is going to determine the season. Now it's going to be, we're making a season. We got to get past South Carolina. Where is that going to be saying? Looking down the road at South Carolina.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of a weird thing. But, I was watching, what game was it? The Florida State Notre Dame game. Some of it.
Yeah, I banked on Notre Dame winning that one.
I was a little disappointed. I mean, I really was.
You okay? Do you need to tell?
No, I expected that to be a little bit better of a game than it was, but I also didn't take into consideration that Notre Dame's starting quarterback for most of the season is transferring to Kansas.
Yeah,
and he was standing on the sideline watching.
That's true.
And the starting quarterback for Notre Dame, granted, he's going to be a good fit for the offense later in the season or later in his career.
Yeah, next year and so on.
Is really his first start, his first big game. So he looked a little skittish out there and not real sure about some things. But, I mean, Notre Dame will get better, but, I was still expecting a little bit of a better game. And Florida State won that one late. Notre Dame's defense just rolled over and just kind of gave that one up. We've got Georgia Tech and Utah tomorrow.
That's going to be a fun game. I'm hoping Tech's going to pull through on that one.
I think so. Tech's got that, that option game that's always tough to defend.
And fortunately, they're playing it. The Pac-12 is exactly known for phenomenal defense. So
yeah, who are you lying to? I mean, tell me honestly, who are you lying to, the microphone or your cup of water?
Cup of water.
Okay, yeah, the cup of water might go for that, but that should be a high score game because Tech's defense isn't the greatest in the world. Yeah,
that's true. Tech's defense hasn't put up a good of a fight this year as I think they could have, but it's going to be a good game. It's definitely going to be a shootout, but I think Tech's going to ultimately outscore them.
Yeah, it'll be a shootout, and I think, like you said, I think Tech will take that one, in the big shootout. Texas A&M Northwestern.
I think Texas A&M's going to blow Northwestern out.
I haven't really seen much of Northwestern. I've watched a little bit of Texas A&M this year just to see what they're like coming into the SEC next year.
That's going to be fun. I'm loving watching these teams that we're going to be playing. Y'all are going to hope you're either going to be in for a really rude awakening.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a rude awakening. At least for a while.
I think they're going to be able to recruit better, in the long run. But first few years are going to be pretty rough for these guys.
Texas A&M's been playing Arkansas, so they've got a little bit of a feel for it. But Missouri, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
They had a couple good years with Chase Daniels, who's the backup quarterback to Drew Brees now in New Orleans, and they had some good runs then. But I don't think Missouri's going to be able to hang with some of the top tier teams in the SEC, especially on defense.
Yeah, again, they're going to have some rough years, but they're going to be able to recruit as their program grows. Hopefully, I mean, they're in the SEC, which is weird to say I'm going to be rooting for them, but they're going to be SEC teams. We want the SEC to remain strong. We need to keep that pretty shiny crystal football in the Southeast.
That's right. It's a given this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's a given. There's a page on Facebook that I like that had their profile picture was 5 in a row for the SEC. Before the games, is like a month ago, it's already been changed to 6 in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a given. LSU, Alabama, there's one of the two of them is going to win it.
Welcome to the best conference in the land.
Exactly, and the Pac-12 or the 12 pack, as I love to call it, has been trying to compete, with us. It's just not. It's not possible.
No.
The best team in the Pac-12 is not going to be able to hang with the best team at SEC or even the top 3 teams in SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but let's say 9 out of 10 times, no.
Yeah, well, again, they're going to get in the SEC, hopefully start recruiting, building a program, just make our conference stronger.
Yeah, and another team that another bowl game, the Insight Bowl game in Tempe, Arizona. Oh, Oklahoma and Iowa. I've put some thought into it. I think Oklahoma's going to win the game, but I don't think as many people's giving Iowa a chance on that game.
Yeah, Iowa's no one to sneeze at. They're a good team in their region. They're a good team. I mean, they had a 7-5 season. Oklahoma's had a little bit better record, but they'll play well in the bowl game. They're a seasoned team. I don't know their quarterback necessarily if he has any bowl experience or not, but that's probably going to be the biggest thing for both of them is experience, especially in these bowl atmospheres. Well, but I think Oklahoma's going to come on top ultimately.
Yeah, I do too. They've got Landry Jones. He's going to be, probably a franchise quarterback in the NFL one day, whether he goes this year or next year. He's got good players around him. It's just that they've not played, that typical Oklahoma football this season, and I'm not real sure what Stoops is going to have to do to get them back to that. But it's Oklahoma, and I'm not that concerned about it.
Well, we'll see what Hawkeyes. Maybe the Hawkeyes are going to come in and surprise them. I mean, it's definitely possible.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and something that is this game is just weird to me all the way around. Ohio State and Florida. You've got one school that has technically fired their head coach, hired another one that used to be at Florida. The head coach that got let go is going to remain as the defensive coordinator. Okay,
so weird.
that aside, you've got another school with Florida who's going to be playing a school knowing that a former head coach of theirs is going to be the next head coach there.
Oh, a legend. I mean, Urban Meyer's,
Yeah.
he was there. He's their big dog.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best thing since Spurrier for Florida.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. He won two, I think it was two national championships in, 4 or 5 years at Florida? I don't think Spurrier's got a record like that.
I don't think I'm sure there's someone probably can call school us on this, but I don't think anyone, at least in recent history, has had a record like that. Even Urban Meyer is obviously we're talking about. Nick Saban,
Les Miles, maybe. Les Miles, maybe.
He's only got one.
I don't know. Well, I'll have to look into that for next week.
Do your homework, man.
With Florida, Charlie Weiss, who just said, I'm here in Florida, in Gainesville, telling his players, the other coaches, I'm here for the long haul. And what does he do?
See you.
Up and leaves for Kansas. Kansas.
Well,
I didn't know he liked basketball.
Money talks, man. Money talks.
I didn't know he liked basketball.
Well,
because I didn't know Kansas had a football team.
I'm not even going to go there.
I mean, come on. Well, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand that. Coaches bounce around way too much. If they would actually stop where they're at and put a lot of the work into the school that they're at, they'd be able to build a program. But schools aren't giving them time enough to build a program nowadays.
Yeah, like I said, money talks. Money talks. I'll be interested to watch I think I'm going to have to mark out a little bit of time to watch the Ohio State-Florida game because I think that's going to be like a 9-7 game. But it's just going to be like, I don't know if it's either going to be really boring or just nothing going on all day.
This is what I think this is game going to be. Is going to be like. It's going to be like two people dancing. You see two people dancing, and it's not a slow dance. It's one of those upbeat dances.
Oh, dear.
But
He's doing the dance, y'all.
They're really bad at it, but they think they're so good.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those, and you're
I've
not
seen
going
you
to
dance.
be.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you've seen it. But it's going to be something like that, and you're not going to be able to look away. It's going to be one of those. It's like, oh God, that's just bad. But I can't. It's like a train wreck.
Yep.
It's going to be one of those kind of games.
Another good game to watch. Another bowl game is going to be this one. The second is the South Carolina-Nebraska game.
Yes.
That's going to be a good game. They both had good seasons. They both got good, South Carolina's got a good defense. Nebraska's got a good offense. It's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a shootout. And I'm really excited
especially with Nebraska's running game.
Yep, it's going to be
against South Carolina's front seven. It's going to be a good
exciting. It's going to be explosive. I'm really that's one game I'm really looking forward to.
It's one more.
Of course,
Alabama LSU.
Well, I was going to say Georgia, Michigan State.
Well, that's a given. Duh. That's a given. Georgia's going to, Georgia, Michigan State, it's going to be a great game, but I don't think Michigan State's offense is going to be able to hang with Georgia's defense.
I don't think so either. But, yeah, the LSU Alabama game, come on, Brain, start working. That's going to be a slugfest. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I got about 8 seconds left before we go back to 7, 6, 5. I appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate everybody listening. Everybody
Happy New Year's to everybody.
Have a safe and happy New Year, and we appreciate everybody listening to the Bartow Sports Showcase on News Talk AM 1270 WYXC.
Winter is upon us and the temperature is dropping. Your local Ace Hardware in Cartersville on West Avenue is your place for home supplies and to purchase and refill your propane gas tanks. And don't forget, Ace Hardware is the place to go to purchase a large or extra large green egg grill. When you do, you'll receive up to $75 worth of free accessories. Visit our website at acehardware.com for our red hot buy specials of the month. Ace stocks a full line of lumber for all your construction and remodeling needs. Come and see John Payne and the gang at 924 West Avenue in Cartersville at Ace Hardware, the place for the helpful hardware man.
Power outages can hit without warning, but a Honda generator can help keep the lights on. You'll never be left in the dark with these lightweight, efficient units that are powered by rugged Honda engines. Let an economical, portable Honda generator brighten your life, whether it's for recreational use or a source of standby power. Put the power of a Honda generator to work for you and take charge of any situation.
Come see us at Red Top Mower at www.redtopmower.com or 770-966-7779. We're located 8 miles south of Main Street on Highway 41.